NASA knows a secret about you. The U.S. government has a secret about you. The elite have a secret about you. There's a reason that black cells are literally in outer space. Your royal DNA cellular bloodline is filled with the God particle, but it lies dormant within you. Beloved, my name is Vicky Dillard. I received supernatural insight concerning your messenger DNA code from a supernatural messenger. If you're not supernatural, this isn't for you, but if it's for you, you don't want to miss my ancestral messenger DNA code activation part 2 on the most magical date of the year. Don't miss it. The link is below. Signs and wonders follow. Don't miss it. 12/12/21 is your day to ascend into your God particle.
Now, I had made a quick, YouTube short video on this particular case, but I wanted to talk about this extensively because it gives a little bit more update. Now, you have this brother that has spent, years upon years of his life for a crime that he did not commit. Now, this brother was from Missouri. He was convicted of a triple murder 4 decades ago and was able to spend this holiday season home with his family after courts ruled that he was wrongly convicted. Now, despite being a victim of the state, he would not receive any form of compensation from the state in restitution. Now, they have set up a GoFundMe launched by the Midwest Innocence Project over the summer with a goal of $7,500, but has surpassed that goal of the nonprofit corporation. Now, it's like 1.2 million last time I seen it at the filming of this video. Now, November 23rd, Kevin Strickland was exonerated by a Show Me State judge over a 40-year murder conviction he was received in 1979. Evidence that was previously ignored was brought forward by Jackson County prosecutor and was key in gaining Strickland's new freedom. The state's attorney, Gene Peters Baker, spoke on this victory, saying, "To say we're extremely pleased and grateful is an understatement. This brings justice finally to a man who has tragically suffered so greatly as a result of this wrongful conviction." They say as Strickland exited the Western Missouri Correctional Center, he spoke about his emotions to a group of reporters. He said, "I'm not necessarily angry. It's a lot. I think I've created emotions that you all don't know about just yet." And he's 62 years old, mind you. He said, "Joy, sorrow, fear. I am trying to figure out how to put them together." He said he further committed himself to working the criminal justice reform in hopes that he can prevent this from happening to someone else. Now, to say presiding judge James Welsh said that he was presented with clear and convincing evidence that undermines the court's confidence in the judgment of conviction. Now, to say the community has rallied around Strickland's story to help him return to some sort of normalcy, and he begins to reintegrate into society. Now, his GoFundMe that's there now, people are steadily donating, right? They say one donor left a comment demanding change. Say this release after so many years of incarceration without compensation is so wrong on so many levels. Say this practice only endorses a bad practice by prosecutors and we do little to help others similarly situated. He said there has to be some accountability for decisions that are made even in error. Let's change the laws. Now, another person say they was elated for Strickland and say you deserve every penny. So I can't even imagine 43 years of your life taken away. They say you're a millionaire now. Now, $1 million is not going to last very long. I'll just be honest with you. Now, Strickland, he always maintained his innocence along with, being convicted without any physical evidence linking him to the murder. So the court sent him away for nearly 2/3 of his life based on the testimony of one woman, they say, who later recanted her testimony on her deathbed. How many of them have done that? Now, his younger brothers, Roland Strickland and Warren Thornton, said that there has been a 43-year nightmare. So I'll never forget that time, that day, that month. My birthday's in April. I had just turned 16, and you take my brother away from me. So he wasn't even a man. He'd probably tell you he was, but I mean, age-wise, he was a boy. He said he was 18. Strickland also revealed that while his brother was sentenced in 1979, he said he had been locked up before the trial. And said Thornton said he was able to see his daughter, his son. He said he never got to see any of my children. He said the way the world has changed, the simple things that we take for granted, he didn't even have any of those. 43 years of advancement, he missed out. That's wicked country, man. They say now he missed out on seeing the children in the family grow up. The most painful thing they say he missed out was not seeing his mother before she died on August 21st, 2021. His mom was 85 years old. That was she had passed away. Now imagine that. He could not even see his own mama. And in there for something that he did not do. Okay? Now, they says in that state, they say as compensation statutes for those wrongfully convicted vary, say depending on the state, Missouri, I say according to a state representative, Richard Brown, has one of the strictest compensation laws in our nation. Say the state's compensation law, according to Bakersfield.com, will only allocate payments to prisoners who prove their innocence through a specific DNA testing statute. It said the state will not even offer him support in securing counseling or therapy for the trauma he experienced while in prison, nor will he be eligible to receive social services like statewide publicly funded health care. So you put this man in prison for 43 years of his life. Then you say, oh, well, it was messed up on our part. You know, sorry, you're free to go. 43 years from 1979 to now, 43 years. The world has changed a lot since 1979. He don't know anything other than prison. You don't give him nothing for y'all taking 43 years of that man's life away. He can't get social services. He can't get nothing. So he's just thrown out on the street. At least in prison, he was getting a meal. And now you put him out there, how can he get a place to stay? Now, him having 1.2 million, he still would have to learn how to even handle that. He go from basically all his life, because he started when he was 18, to now, and you even know the process. So if you don't have nobody that's honorable around you, they can even finesse that man out of that money. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, these laws in this country, man, and I've said this before, and listen to me. I believe if a person goes to jail, innocent person goes to jail, that prosecutor, whoever prosecuted that case, needs to go to jail too. Because they have all the tools and resources at their disposal for the state to find out all the evidence. How you base your case off of one testimony and no physical evidence? How that even happened? How? That prosecutor needs to go to freaking jail. It's just that simple. And maybe if people start pushing that anytime you have these wrongful convictions, that the prosecuting that did this needs to go to jail, then it will change. Then the prosecutors will have due diligence at that point. Because, you talk about the police with this qualified immunity. Well, those prosecutors need to go to jail too. And according to the statistics on exonerations, black men lead exonerations, meaning black men are wrongfully prosecuted. They're given more time. They don't have the money for defense, especially as the Mzungu has. I mean, can you imagine that? You're sitting in prison for decades for something you did not even do. My thing is, how could y'all in this criminal justice system sleep well at night just sending people to jail and you really didn't have a case like that? Just like the same thing I say was, how could you sit up there and just kill an innocent person and you sleep at night like it's no big deal? This is why I say they don't deserve to be lording and making any kind of laws and being in control of nothing, because they don't have no righteousness in them. They don't. Their whole system is wicked. And if it was a system that equally did this across the board, then I could say, okay, it's completely equal and they're doing it to everybody. But they don't. They do it to mostly black people, in more particular, black men. This is why as black men, we gotta, stick together as black men, work with each other much as possible, when we can. You know, because we all we got. There's no other men that's gonna come on our side. You know what I'm saying? The brothers got to stick together, man. Cause this, like I said, when we are apart, this system can do all kind of things to us. And we need more brothers to become attorneys. Sisters too, but a lot of sisters go to school all the time, but we need the brothers. A lot of you brothers, that some of you that have been in the system, man, try to become an attorney. You know the system already. You know some of the laws already. We need more black men to become attorneys. I was hearing that black men only represent 4% of the attorneys. That's ridiculous. We at least need to get up to double digits in representation with attorneys for black men. Because we don't have nobody to defend us. That's how they railroad you in court. Because how they get us on these, horrible, numbers is that a lot of times black folks don't have no legal representation. And you talk about a public defender, man, the public defenders, they're not gonna do nothing for you. Maybe every blue moon there's one good one out there, but then they don't stay long. And then they got so many cases, how can they really fight for you like that? This is being real. So brothers, think about it. Go to law school, become an attorney. Cause we need more black attorneys. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this situation. I mean, it is very, it's horrible. It angers me a lot that you got a man that don't know anything about the world he living in now. A man that had 43 years of his life taken away from him. And to add insult to injury, the state that did it won't give him a dime at all for taking literally his life away from him. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.